Hello there, this is David from David Books and Comics, and I just wanted to go through some of the superhero related paperbacks that I've collected over the years, most of which is actual reprints from the comic books, but some of which will be texts of superhero adventures, something that goes along with my interests. So here is one of the first and one of the best of collections of graphic art. And this is a reprint from the Warren magazine Creepy, and it features several stories by great artists, some of the best. So there's Al Williamson, Wally Wood, Angelo Torres, Reed Crandall, Frank Frazetta, Alex Toth, Reed Crandall again, and the late great Steve Ditko. So this was published by Tempo Books back in 1971. And just to give you a sense, this is the first story, Sand Dune by Al Williamson. And he'll figure a lot in some of the stories that I'll be showing. This is Wally Wood, the moody, almost noir artwork of Wally Wood, and some of his science fiction creativity there. And one of my favorite stories, and this is Frank Frazetta in the short story Werewolf, with all his very graphic expressionism. And here's one of my favorite of all time stories is the collector's edition by Steve Ditko, just to give you a sense of the artwork. It's like the artists were given free rein to be creative and patient with their work. So there you go. And that's one of the best graphic short stories probably ever written. So that's that. And here we have the MLJ superheroes published by Belmont. And the MLJ superheroes are owned, of course, copyright owned by Archie Comics. And this is from April 1966. A lot of these books were from that time period, by the way. I think hopping on the popularity craze of the Batman TV series. And there's the Shield, one of the first flag-draped superheroes from the 1940s, well before Captain America. Let's see, more Shield. And there's also Flyman. See if I can find one. Anyway, so that's High Camp Superheroes. And one of the most popular of these superhero collections was this from Tower Comics. And Tower was Midwood, I believe, Tower Publications. It's also 1966. There's Wally Wood cover. And if you flip through, you see No Man, which is Steve Ditko's creation. Again, featuring some of that expressive art that he's noted for. So there you go. There's that one. And I also have a rough copy of Mentor. And that's also from that same time period. Tower Publications. So there's that. And I'll show you some more of, this is the Batman one. this is not exactly easy to find, by the way, and fairly inexpensive when I bought it. This copyright, again, March 1966. It features the art of Bob Kane, or at least the Bob Kane style. Of course, we all know that Batman was created by both Bill Finger and Bob Kane, with Bill Finger uh, presenting many of the graphic ideas that Bob Kane instilled in his artwork. Oh, fairly enjoyable reads, simple stories. And this is The Joker. All of these stories, this is number 3, published by Signet, just like this one. Published back in 1966. May. Again, from that same time period as the Batman TV series. And I have The Penguin, number 4, Signet. There's The Penguin, created by Bob Kane, and as we know, Bill Finger. This is May 1966. There you go, so that's The Penguin. And The Great Modesty Blaze also was done in paperback form in Great Britain. This one's copyrighted a little later, I think. Of course, she was more mystery adventure in the James Bond style. This is from 1978 in London, copyright by Starbooks. So that's that one. It features 2 stories, The Black Pearl and The Vikings. Cover's not that great, actually. The art on the cover doesn't have the same symmetry that the interior art of this has. Anyway, so that's Modesty Blaze. Of course, I also have Wonder Woman, and I picked this up in a dollar bin. Art is by H.G. Peter. H.G. Peter drawing in the kind of ancient Greek style. She is a goddess. And the stories were by William Moulton Marston. So that's that. Easy to read and fun to read, actually. So that's that one. And then we have Al Williamson again in this book, Flash Gordon in the Lost Continent of Mongo. You have a tape pull. It's a very rough copy. Again, I found it in a dollar bin. But quick read. And you can follow along and enjoy the art at the same time. So that's that one, on the Lost Continent of Mongo. This one is by Lee Falk, and of course it's his creation, Mandrake the Magician. And you have the signatures of the artist and the writer. So that's Mandrake. This is from Tempo Books, 1979. Both were copyrighted and owned by King Features. This is the Spider-Man. These are drawn by John Byrne. The cover art is by a guy named Bob Larkin. And this is from Spider-Man and Man-Thing, which have been, I think it's not Marvel 2-in-1. It's the one where Spider-Man was the second character, second superhero in the stories. Forget the name of the title. If any of you know, just let me know down below in the comments section. So that's Spider-Man. So that's copyright by Marvel. That's that one. And this is a reprint of the very first Marvel Giant Size #1. And you can see it's Dave Cockrum who did this painted cover. So he did this painted cover just for this book, by the way. And it features the Angel, Banshee, Storm, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops, Phoenix, Thundercloud, and there you go. Let's see. Yeah, so copyright 1982. Yeah, it's all interior. The whole thing is from Giant Size X-Men #1. So that's that. And this is a reprint of 4 Batman adventures, 3 of which are drawn by Neil Adams. There you see Neil Adams' work. And this one looks like Carmine Infantino. Yeah, that's his style. And there's Neil Adams' version of Two-Face. Yeah, that's from Temple Books, 1970, National Periodicals, DC Comics. That's that one. And now I'm going to go through my collection of Marvel and other. So this is one of the first books I ever bought that features the Fantastic Four, issues 1 through 6, complete and unabridged, in this format, all done by Stan Lee, Jack Kirby art. And this came out 1977. There we go. There's that one. So I bought that when it first came out, so that's my original copy. This also is my original copy. It features issues 1 through 6 plus Amazing Fantasy 15, which you'll see here. There it is. It's one of the first complete color collections of these 6 issues before those big thick omnibus editions came out. So that's that one. And this one I bought much later. This is #2 in that series, and that publishes issues 7 to 13. Again, all drawn by Steve Ditko, and dialogue was written by Stan Lee. That's that one. And this is one of the great ones. This is a Doctor Strange. Beautiful cover. Let's see, I know this guy's artwork. I just can't remember his name. Let's see if it has. Yeah. No, it's not signed. Anyway, he's a beautiful artist. But the interior art is by Steve Ditko. And this is one of my favorite origin stories for all of Marvel's superheroes, is the Doctor Strange origin, where he was an expert professional surgeon. And there you have the arrogant Doctor Strange, and then humility. Yeah, it's one of the best, and then the down and out. Ditko was a great artist. He knew how to fashion and depict mood in his stories. And of course, the art is just as good as the text. Stan Lee was brilliant at writing these meditative, long actually, meditative thoughts, thought balloons, and texts for the main characters in the stories. So that's Doctor Strange. And this is Incredible Hulk. This one I bought much later. And it's Steve Ditko. Sorry, Steve Ditko's in here in number 6, but this is Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And Ditko's work is here in number 6. The Metal Master. Nice Ditko cover. Yep. So that's the first time that these were printed in these little small format, little omnibus editions. Now we can buy them in these huge, sometimes hard-covered volumes in color. But this is the first time that they're all collected in one continuous sequence. This is the Spider-Woman, and this collects Marvel Spotlight, where she first appeared. That's her first appearance from Marvel Spotlight. And then we have the Spider-Woman number 1, and the art from then on was by Carmine Infantino. And one of the first collections of the entire set of these. So that's Spider-Woman. And this is Will Eisner's The Spirit. This is a UK edition. 6 stories from Titan Books in London. You can see where they came from. One of them is from 1989. Copyright, and it's a first UK edition. There you go. That's The Spirit. And I wanted to show this also. This is Gil Kane's Black Mark. And I believe this also appeared in a magazine form. And it has all the dynamism and action of the Gil Kane art. It has a lot of text. Well worth the read. This is a Sword and Planet type adventure story in the tradition of Lee Brackett's Eric John Stark and Edgar Rice Burroughs' John Carter of Mars. Fun to read. He captures the whole mood of that type of genre, subgenres of sci-fi, science fiction. So that's that, Black Mark. I also wanted to show you another Al Williamson, and this is a really rough copy. It's one of my first copies. Yeah, signed by me. And so it's one of the first copies that I ever bought. This is from 1980, and this is Al Williamson art of Star Wars. And again, it has more of a gritty realism than Alex Raymond's version of Flash Gordon. Really nice read. If you want to read a quick read of this series, it's well worth the purchase to find it. I think they're a bit more expensive than when I first bought it off the shelf for $2.50. So that's that one. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Screenplay by Lee Brackett and Lawrence Kasdan from the story by George Lucas. So that's that. I'm just going to push these aside. And and show you the text books that I have. So one of the first books I ever bought, and this isn't the one, but it was this very book, was this one by this science fiction writer Ted White called The Great Gold Steel. This came out and was published by Bantam in 1968. And there's a short introduction by Stan the Man Lee. And here it's published July 1968, first edition paperback original. And I'll show you some more paperback originals featuring superheroes. This one is also a Captain America. This one was written by Joseph Silva. It's Marvel Novel Series number 4. A paperback original first edition. Leaves 1977. 1979. Dave Cockrum cover art. Beautiful cover. Painted cover. And it's the only painted cover version you have. It's in this volume. So that's that one, Holocaust for Hire, Captain America. And there's a Fantastic Four one. And the cover art here is by John Buscema. And Ledger, it says. Let's see if it says who the... okay, so that's that one. In 1979, I think. May 1979, so that's number 5. Doomsday by Marv Wolfman. And here's another. This is Iron Man by William Rotsler. Cover art's by Bob Larkin. That's June 1979. And Call My Killer MODOK. Nice cover. I like the painted cover. Nice. I like that old version, the red and yellow Iron Man costume. This is a novelization of another Doctor Strange adventure. Cover art is by Bob Larkin. It's a beautiful cover. With Doctor Strange, you always think that text does a disservice to the character because he needs to be shown really in graphic with art. So there you go. Copyright July 1979. Marvel Novel Series number 7. So with the flaws, this would be a very good copy. So there you go, Nightmare, one of his arch villains. Reminds me a lot of Neil Gaiman's Sandman. And this is an Amazing Spider-Man novel, one of the first, if not the first. This is by Bob Larkin, cover art. And the story is by Paul Kupperberg, Crime Campaign. It features the Kingpin swinging at Spider-Man. And this is from August 1979, so Marvel Novel Series number 8. And that one is a fine copy. This printer's error, but this is a fine copy. That's that. These are all published by Pocketbook. And here is a Dave Cockrum cover of Marvel superheroes featuring the Hulk, the Avengers, X-Men, and Daredevil. Different writers on these stories. And they include Jim Shooter, Kyle Christopher, Mary Jo Duffy, and Len Wein. So well worth the read. Maybe the first time that Daredevil in particular appeared in text form rather than graphic form. Maybe that's true for the X-Men. not so much for the Avengers. So that's that one. It's Marvel Novel Series number 9. And this came out in 1966, an original novel by Winston Lyon. And May 1966. And you see Adam West on the cover, based on the TV series. So that's nice to see. Well worth the read. Simple story. I know a lot of people don't like this yow, karoom, zowie, wham. That's not Batman. Anyway, not the Batman that Bob Kane and Bill Finger created. So there you go. So that's 3 villains of doom. Penguin, Catwoman, and Joker. So that's that one. The next one I want to show you is one of the ones I bought when it first came out. I paid $1.50 for this. Ron Goulart, Challengers of the Unknown. It takes place, from my memory, in a swamp in South America, the deep jungles of South America. I think Brazil, for that matter. I can't remember now. It's been a while. So, Challengers of the Unknown by Ron Goulart. It's the only one that ever came out. The copyright from this, from Dell Publishing. And this is 1977. So that's that one. And one of the last ones that I collected and bought later, much later on. This is by William Wormser, and it's a novel by Ed Friend, but that's a pseudonym. So that's Richard Wormser, not William, but Richard Wormser, who wrote right around this time period in the 60s a lot of mystery novels featuring a police detective. So this is The Green Hornet in Infernal Light, published in 1966 when the TV series first came out. All right, so that's my foray into my superhero collection, paperback novels featuring some fairly rare. Some of them are fairly rare, some of them are just simply uncommon, and many of them are sought after. So if you enjoyed my little foray into my superhero collection, please give me a thumbs up, a like, subscribe. Thanks for people who are continuing to subscribe to my channel. And comment if you have anything or if you want to add anything. Thanks again for watching, and thanks for all the viewers. Okay, thanks. Bye.